Every day, I witness an incredible phenomenon. I see two separate business owners with the same offer, same market, same number of employees, have two totally separate outcomes. One of them builds a multi-million-dollar business, and the other one niche hops every 3 weeks and barely makes $3,000 a month. So what is the difference between both of them? If they have the same information and same offer, there's one thing that it could be, and this video is pulled directly from my in-person mastermind at Scaling with Systems Live last year, where I break down the one attribute that I have noticed is the difference between the successful and the unsuccessful with their businesses aside. I hope you enjoy.
So quickly, I want to talk about what's required on the mindset side of things. And I know everyone's like, fucking mindset, this guy, right? He promised me he's not going to talk about mindset. The ironic thing is, I have a high-level program called Scaling Initiative, where people pay me $50, $60, $70, $80,000 a year to come work with me. And we have intensive masterminds 3 times a year where they come to my condo and we sit there. And you'd think that they'd be like, hey, like how do you run Facebook ads? How do you run YouTube ads? Which we talk about. But the first day is almost always, like, what's your personal routine? How do you have a relationship and you run a business? How do you stay focused? How do you juggle multiple things? So it's funny because even if people here are making millions of dollars a month, I know they still struggle with a lot of this stuff. Time management, which I'm going to cover here in a moment. So focus, there's no such thing as passive income. I'm sorry if you guys sell passive income as part of your business, but I'm just letting you guys know. There's really no such thing as passive income, especially in the beginning stages of your business. So this is a pretty cool chart that I showed here, but as you can see right here, this is the asset classes over the past 10 years, and Bitcoin, every year for the past 10 years, done 230%. Who likes Bitcoin? Who likes cryptocurrency? Yeah, I'm a big crypto guy too. So, but the craziest thing is 230% a year over the past 10 years. My business has been doing 800%, 1,000, 1,500% return on investment every year for the past 2 years, right? Investing in myself and investing in my business should be the number one priority. People split their focus just like I did. ATM business. I had a real estate brokerage at one point. I was doing B2B lead generation instead of just focusing on one fucking thing over and over again. Some of my clients are doing $100, $150 million, and they always tell me the biggest mistake they ever had was diverting their attention in the very beginning. So if you guys are running a business right now and you guys have an Amazon store, a Walmart store, you got a coaching program, you got a done-for-you service, you have an advertising agency, you're doing real estate investing, you gotta fucking choose one. It is not gonna be scalable. Your attention is diverted. And that's what I did. I cut off every other business that I had, except for Scaling with Systems and my advertising agency, Prospect Social, and I'll be exiting my advertising agency this year, okay? So, return on investment should be seen as time, not money. Money you can always make more of. I guarantee you, everybody in this room can make as much money as they humanly wanna do. What you cannot get back is time. And that's what these passive income opportunities get you. They lose your time. Even if they make you $10,000 extra a month, which is pretty fucking impressive for a passive income opportunity, if you just spent that time working inside your business, you can make that $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, $1 million a month, right? And it just feels so much better. So that is a lesson for everybody here. Learn from my mistakes, but I'm telling you, be fucking ruthless with your time. Anytime I see revenues drop, I know that it's my focus has shifted. I have gone on a vacation. Inside of my sales team, I have something called the death spiral, which is what I talk about, which is like, your guys gonna be fucking around, maybe you go on like a vacation, you spend 5 days, you take some time off, and then it's not gonna show up next week. It's not gonna show up 3 weeks from there. It's not gonna really show up 4 weeks from there. But 5, 6, 7 weeks, you're gonna be like, why is revenue down all of a sudden? Like, this is weird. And you're gonna attribute to something that you're doing right now, when in reality it was something that you did 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. And then we call it the death spiral because then you're like, oh, this doesn't work. My customers hate me. Shouldn't be in business. I should quit. I'm gonna go home and cry. And I've seen it happen in entrepreneurs before. Now, I just wanna show you guys an example. Here's Raj and I on my balcony. To show you guys the level of focus that you need, a good friend of mine in my high-level program asked me the other day, he said, do you have the absolute best program in the world? Are you the absolute best at what you do? Do you actually deliver, without a shadow of a doubt, if I looked you in the eyes, the best in the industry at delivering on your transformation? And 6 months ago, I probably would not have been able to say yes. Because my program was incredible, but it wasn't the level that it needed to be at. And so I decided that I was going to sit down and build this whole thing out. And Raj was coming to the United States for Thanksgiving, and he was going to go see his family in California. And I said, Raj, you're not going to California. I said, you're not spending Thanksgiving with your family. And my beautiful girlfriend's right here as well, and it was her birthday the day after Thanksgiving. And I said, I'm not going to be there for your birthday. And instead, I spent 10 days for about 12 hours every single day shooting our newest version of our program, which is 3.0. No exercise, no talking to anybody. I just shot this fucking version of the program, and I was delirious. But I typed this all up, and it's about 125 slides, and the program is fucking awesome. Who's here in 3.0 and likes the value in it, right? Yeah, it's pretty kick-ass, to be honest with you. That's like my Mona Lisa, right? That's my Sistine Chapel. So I'm all in, and you guys should be too. The other thing I really want to talk about that people don't understand in all areas of your life is your feedback loop, right? Performing an action, thinking about an action, doing the action, getting the feedback, adjusting, performing the action again. This should be in every single aspect of your business. Working out, relationships, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, products testing, right? If you guys are launching a brand new product, you guys shouldn't build the product. You guys should go and say, hey, I'm launching this new product. Who wants to buy? People raise their hand. They get on the phone with you. And then they say, yeah, I really love this stuff. I don't really need this stuff. And you go, great. We'll do this stuff and not this stuff. And then we change it and we sell it to them. The smartest people in the world that I know, they have feedback loops. They actually have focus and feedback loops. It's interesting. Warren Buffett's dad was sitting down with Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. And they said, what would you attribute the number one thing for your success? And you know what they both said at the exact same time? This is in Warren Buffett's book, Snowball, his biography, which is awesome. It's 800 pages. But they both said focus at the exact same time. So you guys are not going to be better than those two. I promise you that. So don't be afraid of the feedback loop. I'm going to show you guys some cool tracking dashboards that we use inside of our company. But what your ads return on and spend is, how much money you're spending on the ads, what are you getting, how many leads, how long's the sales cycle, should you adjust the ad copy, should you adjust the sales funnel, right? And we're going to go through KPIs today. Another example of this is relationships, right? If every time you get off work, you come home and your boyfriend or girlfriend's nagging at you about how much time you don't spend with them and they're not very supportive, you should use a feedback loop there to be like, okay, they're not very supportive. Like, I should probably spend a few days away from them. You spend a few days away from them, you realize that you're massively happier and more profitable in your business, and then you adjust and you drop that person, right? But you're never gonna do that if you don't have the feedback loop. So pay attention to that inside your life. And then always be testing, always be measuring. So this is a satisfaction survey. We have this go out 14 days. So I'm gonna talk about some automations, but the number one recommendation I have for every single person inside of this room is to have a feedback survey or a satisfaction survey 14 days after somebody joins your program. Company, program, eat at your restaurant, buy a piece of real estate from you. It can be automated. You don't have to do anything. I don't send an email out. It's automated. After someone pays me money, we delay 14 days, and we send an email out that says, hey, James, thanks so much for joining Scaling with Systems. We'd love your feedback. You can submit it anonymously. It's going to help us build a better program. And they submit it. And we ask them, what's your overall experience? How's your time with your virtual assistant been? How helpful is the content? How do you find the coaching calls? Would you recommend this to a friend? And what big differences that you made? And if you guys want to know, Ravi, that's not making me money, well, on a scale 1 to 5, how likely you recommend Scaling with Systems? If someone says a 5, you better believe we're reaching out to that person and saying, great, who do you have in mind? Right? We get a lot of referrals that way. And then also feedback loop inside of your personal life. So who here has a Whoop or knows what a Whoop is? Anybody heard of that? Badass. That was probably one of the best decisions I made in my personal life all of 2020. So it's a little band you can put on your wrist. You get it for 30 days for free, and then it's like $35 a month. And it literally tracks your stress levels, your sleep levels, and it lets you know what activities you're doing. It's a feedback loop. So I would, let's say, go out and have a drink, 1 or 2 drinks. Then I would go to sleep, I'd wake up in the morning, and my recovery would be at 40%, 30%, or 20%. I was like, holy shit, how the hell am I gonna operate a multi-7 or 8-figure business at a 30% recovery rate? Let alone work out, let alone focus. Also, I keep, this is an end-of-day checklist for our sales guys. I take a screenshot of this as well. This has probably been really, really pivotal for our success with our sales team. So everyone looks at quantitative numbers, which is like, hey, what's your closing rate? What's your cash to close? What's your sales cycle look like? But people aren't actually saying like, hey, how did you feel today? How did you perform? right? You know, what was your energy level? What'd you eat for breakfast? And then you have you or a sales team manager go inside of there and actually start giving them feedback every single day on the end of day reports. Hey, you notice that you ate a pizza last night and you didn't close anything today? You think that might be a little correlated? You notice you had 2 glasses of wine when you got home last night and you slept in a little bit today? And it's just this snowball effect. It's almost death by 1,000 cuts. So we use data tracking, forecasting, and end of day reporting. And also, oh my gosh, the environment is the most important thing in your life. I was in a very toxic environment when I first started my business. I moved out. I moved in with my brother right here. And I pretty much slept almost on the couch, living at his house, waiting to build a real business. And that was a massive change. Then I moved to my own house. And then I moved into a house in San Diego with 3 of my best friends that I met at a mastermind just like this. And my whole fucking life changed. Like, I was already doing pretty well. But then, you know, if you're like, oh man, it's been a long week. We made a lot of money. I'm going to watch a movie. And you sit down and watch a movie. And then one of your friends walks in the room and they're like, just gives you that judgmental eye, like, you're watching a movie right now, really? Like, God damn it, you turn the movie off, you get up and you go back to work.
Hey, wait, really quickly before we continue on this video, if you want to come to my event in 2022 that is about to happen, our next Scaling with Systems Live, where we have hundreds of 6, 7, and 8-figure business owners there, and we have content that is about 100 times as valuable as the stuff you're watching right now, we just released early bird tickets. It's going to be the first link in the description down below. Make sure you get them now.
Right? It's a massive difference. And one of the ideas you guys need to understand, I'll look this up when I get home, it's a concept in science called activation energy. And the idea is, how much energy does it take for you to do something? So human beings will settle down. Whatever the easiest option is, that is what we will choose. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Tony Robbins, whatever else it is. Whatever the easiest option is, you will always choose. So if you make the easy option something bad, you will always do something bad. If you make the easy option something good, you'll always do something good. It seems simple, but it's very important. Examples. If I have a bag of Doritos in my house, I'll rip through that sucker in an hour, sitting down, the full family-sized bag of Doritos. So I cannot have that in my house. Like 100%, I cannot have that in my house. I know that's good. If I have my office that's 45 minutes away, and I wake up in the morning and it's raining, I'd be like, I don't really need to go to my office today. And my remote control for my TV is sitting on my bed right here, then I'm just like, let me just lay back and turn this on. That's a lot easier to do. But if I take my remote controls and I put them in a storage bin and put it in the top of my closet, the activation energy to get those remote controls is a lot harder. Does this make sense, everybody in here? You cannot overstate the importance of this. If you have a beautiful office where your computer's already set up when you wake up in the morning and you can walk 10 feet and start working, that's what you're gonna default to do, right? I set my clothes out for the gym the night before. Okay, you have to understand this idea, I promise you. And health, obviously this is required as well. Routines, discipline, minimalism. I'm not gonna get too much into this stuff right here because most people know this, but if you're not healthy, if you're not happy where you're at health-wise, it's 100% accumulation of all the decisions you've made. I don't give a fuck if you're making $10 million, $100 million. You know, if somebody else can be healthy and do that, you can do the same thing. And in reality, I don't really think you can ever perform at the highest level, which you need to be a stellar entrepreneur, if you're out of shape. And out of shape, I mean, is like, you know, you're huffing and puffing, walking up 15 steps. Out of shape is you're drinking out on a Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, when you know you need to be working the next day, when you have shit you need to do, right? Out of shape, and people eat unhealthy foods and then they wonder why they need to take a nap in the middle of the day, okay? And I'm not saying I'm better than you guys, because I used to do the same stuff. That's, if you guys remember Fat Ravi, that was me making these bad decisions, okay? This is my environment now. So this is what I wake up every single morning. I see yachts coming by my house every single morning. That is inspirational as fuck to me, to be honest with you. Everywhere I live on the water so I can be inspired every single time I wake up. For the people here that are living in, like, you know, Wyoming or Minnesota, I'm sorry for you guys, okay? You need to move. Look at this. Someone's gonna come to me afterwards. Wyoming's nice. Also, as far as wealth is concerned, I like automated investing. I'm going to go into a lot of my portfolio a little bit later, but you don't need to be thinking about this stuff. We're going to talk about how you can just automatically have money deposited out of your account into something that's just going to compound over the next 40 years. You don't even worry about it. I like staying in nice places too, because that also inspires out of me as well. So finally, really, relationships. You have givers and takers in your life. You probably have givers and takers in your family. I have givers and takers in my family. And the takers, I don't really talk to. And those could be your direct relatives. And you need to understand that. If you're living with your parents, if you're living in your city of your family, and they are not directly supporting you, then they are takers, okay? And I'm not saying that you can't take care of them, but what I had to do, this is honest to God, if anybody knows me, you guys know I'm very, very transparent, is that I decided to not really talk to any of my family members for a while I was building my business. Because as soon as I started making money, they were asking for money. And the money was going out faster than it could come in. And for you to really help somebody, you need to have so much fucking money that you don't give loans out to people. Oh, can I borrow $5,000? You'll never see that $5,000 again. And you want to make it so that when you do that, you're like, cool, just have it. Just take the $5,000. That's the idea when you're on a plane and it says, put your mask on first before you help somebody else. Same thing when it comes to this. You have to take care of yourself. And one of the ways you have to take care of yourself is maybe cutting out people in your life that are not helping you take care of yourself as well. Okay. Also, people talk about work-life integration versus work-life balance. I really believe in work-life harmony. So you guys are awesome. And I love what I fucking do. I love hopping on coaching calls. I'm going to see some of you guys on a yacht on Sunday. We're going to be talking about something other than business. So surround yourself with people. You shouldn't have these two buckets of people. That's like these people I talk about sports and video games. These people I talk about business. Just have like one group of people that are all on the same level that you can flip in and out of sports and whatever else you want to. And then time management. I cannot stress this enough. There's something called the rule of 100, but I really challenge anybody here. I would love for you guys to email this to support@scalingwithsystems.com. I'll give $50 to anybody that does this and email support@scalingwithsystems.com. But put a timer on your phone to go off every 30 minutes and write down in a journal what you did the past 30 minutes. And don't think I know what I'm doing, Ravi, because I do it. And I don't care how much money you're making, how prioritized you think your time is, you would be shocked, right? I was on my phone way too much. So I removed my phone from next to my toilet. I put a book there. I leave my phone in a drawer at home, so I'm not spending 20 minutes on my fucking phone, right? You'd be shocked. You're talking to your friend, you're talking to your family when you should be working on your business. So I really challenge anybody to do that. That's $50 anybody wants to send it to me. And always be asking yourself, is this worth my time? Now, this is pretty cool. I'm going to walk you guys through some of the things that I did for time management. If it's less than $300 an hour, you need to give it to somebody else. Especially if you're making $10,000 a month and you're cooking your own meals, what the hell are you doing? Oh, well, it's better for me to just get the groceries and cook it and So what? No, it's not. I like cooking. Okay, do it Friday night. You should see food as a necessary thing, not something that you're going extravagant every single day for lunch and dinner and breakfast. This is the most powerful concept in the event. The most wealthiest people in the world leverage other people's time. I don't wash my car. I don't go drive to my masseuse. My masseuse comes here. I don't go drive to my haircut. My haircut comes to my house. I have an executive assistant. I have a full team of 25 people. And I just spend my time shooting content and creating better products for my clients. Okay? It's literally a matter of prioritization. So things I've wasted time in my personal life, I would definitely take note of this. Number one, cooking, cleaning, laundry, grocery shopping, clothes shopping, grabbing coffee, breakfast, going out, road trips, social media, right? This is an example of my YouTube. There is a software you can install on YouTube which actually removes the home screen for you. I haven't looked at a YouTube home screen or a Facebook newsfeed in 2 years now. For Facebook, it's called Newsfeed Eradicator. If you guys don't have that, I'm sorry. I make all my money from Facebook and I don't look at Facebook feed. You don't need Facebook, okay? And for YouTube, I actually don't remember what it's called, to be honest with you. And that's an example of my Facebook. It's just an inspirational quote. And then things I've wasted time in my business life, really quickly, just to show you guys. For cooking, I have meal prep. It's $14 a meal. It's delivered to my house. Why would you guys not do that? Cleaning, I have a maid come twice a month for $100. Why would you not do that? Laundry, I have an executive assistant come to my house once a week and do my laundry for me. Grocery shopping, are you serious? Who here is going grocery shopping? You can just use that on an app. You can pay like $10 a month and it's free, okay? Clothes shopping, I don't really do that much, but I ordered online. Grabbing coffee, I think Raj pulled this out of the slide, but I had fuck you after that because I've never had anything productive come from when someone said, let's grab a cup of coffee. Let's network. Nah. Your time's valuable, guys. Understand that. I've never had another millionaire say, hey, let's get some coffee. No, they don't say that. Straight to the point, right? Don't believe all these things you read online. Breakfast, I fast. I don't go out. I fly instead of driving, and I showed you guys what I do for social media. And then also in my business life, things I've wasted time on, commuting. You guys decide what you want inside your business life, but I think commuting is ridiculous. My commute every single morning is from my bed, I get up and I walk 20 feet over to my office. Talk about activation energy, right? I can start working literally 30 minutes after I'm up in the morning. I do my morning routine, I'm working. If you have to drive 30 minutes to work, then you gotta say hi to those people, then people are stopping you on the way into the office. It could be 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours before you actually get anything done. And we're talking about that compounding over time. Oh, whoops. Emails, so this is my executive assistant right here. She checks my emails. I also haven't checked emails in 2 years. Why are you guys checking emails? It's not important, I promise you. Every single person here should create a standard operating procedure for someone to go through emails, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Just record yourself going through emails for 5 days in a row. You can use a software called Loom. It's a Google Chrome extension, and then you never worry about it again. I had my virtual assistant doing it for about 1.5 years, and then when I got a local executive assistant in Miami, now she does it for me. I don't even know, I don't look inside of emails. And honestly, emails don't really bring the best news. If you guys want Stripe notifications, just turn it on your phone as a push notification, okay? I do leave those on. Meetings, I run two multi-seven-figure companies with 25 plus employees. We have 1 meeting a week, okay? I think there's a great book called The One Thing by Gary Keller, founder of Keller Williams. I'd recommend everybody read that. I meet them once a week. Now, I have separate divisions. My sales team leaders, my fulfillment, they might have multiple meetings a week. But as a CEO, my time is more valuable than that. Okay? Editing, you can outsource. Texting, I don't ever text anybody. Phone calls, hell no. And one-on-ones, you got to pay me a lot of money to get a one-on-one with me in a room. And if you do, then hell yeah, I'm gonna help you a lot. But if not, you guys got to cut that out inside of your business. So the idea is it's only 30 minutes, Ravi. So you have 30 minutes to do the actual task. And then there are studies done in Harvard that show that there's about 25 minutes of switching time between, okay, I got a meeting at 1, I got a meeting at 1, I got a meeting at 1, 12:50 comes, okay, I gotta get out of the thing I'm doing right now, okay, do the meeting at 1 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock comes, the meeting's over, all right, what do I need to do next? So add 25 minutes to every switch task that you do. So 30 plus 25 times 5 days a week, although I know all you guys are savages, you probably work 7 days a week, so we'll use conservative numbers here. 5 days a week times 12 months a year divided by 60 minutes is 220 hours, and you multiply that by $300 an hour, which is what your minimum time should be worth, right? I say mine's worth $5,000 an hour. Then you're losing pretty much $66,000 a year is essentially what you're doing. I would rather pay $66,000 to somebody to get 222 hours of my life back every year. Is anybody else would do that? Yeah? Cool. So why aren't you? So focus, feedback loop, product environment, time management, and then the final thing is shit flavored cereal. I had my team put this up here, but just be willing to go through some shit, guys. There's a great interview with Elon Musk, and someone was like, so Elon, how do you go through the hard times? What happens when life kicks you in the face? How do you get over it? Who do you talk to? What's the motivation? And he was like, honestly, if you're asking that question, you probably shouldn't be an entrepreneur. And that is just the truth of it. If you have to always look for external motivation and always look for somebody else to help you out, yeah, this might not be your racket.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said earlier, if you want to get your ticket to our next Scaling with Systems Live, that is in just a few months from now, click the link in the description down below and get access to the early bird tickets. Check out some of the testimonials of some 7- and 8-figure business owners that went to that event and said it was the best event of their lives. I hope I see you guys there.